I quit. I quit. No, I don't. But that is what a lot of people are saying today. And even if they're not saying it out loud, they are. Um, they are. Hold on. What is this? I'm just looking at the chat right now. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, my email is their note. Yeah, that's funny. That you're right. So there's a lot of people right now who are quitting today. It's January 10th, by the way, as we're doing this live broadcast to YouTube. So thanks for being here. If you are here live, I certainly hope you're not quitting today. But it is National Quitters Day. So what does that even mean? Well, January 10th is the day that most people give up on their New Year's resolutions. And that might be you. You might have made a New Year's resolution 10 days ago. It takes about 10 days before you throw in the towel, before you're ready to just quit and before you give up. So that's why today is National Quitters Day. It is the day where most people will abandon the goals that they set for themselves on New Year's Day. It only took them 10 days. It only took them 10 days. You worked hard for 10 days and then you gave up. And you know what's interesting about National Quitters Day? By the way, I'm not participating in National Quitters Day, and I certainly hope you're not either. And I'll give you some strategies today to hold on to the helm and to keep moving yourself forward. And by the way, YouTube, thank you very much for being here for this live broadcast. What you're watching is a simulcast, a simultaneous broadcast of an open Q&A that I do on Zoom every Friday at noon to the people who are in my awesome mastermind, which is called Force Acceleration, which teaches people how to get to $20,000 a month in their businesses. It's for service-based entrepreneurs, people who want to be of service to others, who want to have an impact on people's lives. And we help them scale their businesses to $20,000 a month with strategies and giving them a clear path to follow as they start to market their businesses. So I don't know. I'll put it in the chat, I guess. If you want to talk with me about that, all you got to do is go to prouty.me. And that will get you a spot on my calendar. And I'll give you some information that'll help you no matter what, even if you don't want to join. I just want to see you win. So National Quitters Day, that's today. And this is where a lot of people give up on their goals. And I don't know why. I think it's the number that I saw, it's staggering. It's about half the people who set goals give up on them by today. That to me sounds like a real lot of people. So let's talk about why people give up on their goals to begin with, because I'm a person that will stick out till the bitter end. If I set a goal, I'm going to stick with it for a real long time. But the reason that I stick with my goals, and you know what? Let's do this. Let's actually write this down, and we'll take some notes on this. So let me just open up a document that I can share with you. We're going to call this don't, I was going to call it Don't Give Up, like the Kate Bush, Peter Gabriel song from 1988, but I won't. Quit. Somebody verify that date. And I'll share this with you. Okay, so this is your motivation to not quit. So we need to first verify why you quit. Was that 1988? Did anybody figure that out for me? I don't know where my chat window is. Here it is. Did I get it? It's 2 years off. 2 years off. 1986. Don't quit. Slacking. Somebody says I'm slacking. Hey, look, I was close. I was within 24 months. Don't quit. How dare you? How dare you quit on yourself? It is. I did say that. The song is called Don't Give Up. That's why I was going to call this Don't Give Up, but I don't want a copyright infringement on that song. Don't quit. So today's National Quitters Day, and let's explore how to not quit on yourself, right? I don't want you quitting on yourself. So today we're going to explore how to not quit on yourself. And today's the pivotal day. Half the people who set goals for themselves are going to quit on those goals today, and that's unfortunate. Now, these might not be business goals. These could be fitness goals. maybe you don't want to be such a slob, like sitting around there, you're overweight. You want to lose the weight. Maybe you want to stop doing quit a harmful habit. Maybe you want to quit smoking, or you want to stop doing, whatever, I don't know, whatever recreational things people do, alcohol or drugs. I don't know, because I don't do that stuff, but maybe you do, and maybe you don't want to do it. Maybe you want to be a better person to your family, and you put that in place, or you want to be more involved in your social contributions or your spiritual contributions. Whatever it is, if you're at that teetering point where you're thinking about giving up, let's talk about some strategies to keep you from giving up. All right? Don't give up. Don't give up. So first of all, we have to understand that there are 7 areas of life. What that means is, and I didn't make this up, by the way, the Buddhists did 4,200 years ago, maybe a little bit more than that. They only had 5 then. They didn't have 7, but it's matured over time. You do mature. Things do mature. So there are 7 areas of life. Here they are: business, money, family, fitness, intellectual, social, spiritual. Did I miss anything? I think I got all 7. So the first thing that I want you to understand is that there are 7 areas of life, but the key here is identify your top 3 areas of life. What 3 areas of life are most important to you? Only you can figure that out. If you look at this list and you had to put it in an order of what's most important to you, you got to try to do that. Or you could go through and you could put, like, this is number 1, and this is number 2, and this is number 3. These are mine, by the way. Okay, those are my 3 highest areas of life. Business is my number 1 most important area of life, followed by family, followed by fitness. And I make no apologies for that. It's just the way it goes. It's just how it is. You could also you could look at, like, what do you spend most of your time doing? If you had no limitations, no restrictions, where would you spend your time? What would you do? And then try to categorize that into one of these 3 things. If somebody said to me, you have limitless time, what are you going to do? I'm going to get back to work, because that's how much I love what I do. So I'm going to get back to work. So business always surfaces as the number 1 thing. Okay, you've got unlimited time, but we're not going to work on business today. What are you going to do next? I'm going to spend time with my family. I'm going to take the kids. I'm going to go goof around with the kids, go do fun stuff. Okay, the kids are sleeping and you can't work on your business. What are you going to do? I'm going to work out. I'm going to work on my fitness. That's always my top. Those are always, always, always my top 3. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. And that the reality is they're kind of all tied for first place. I would not give up on any of these things, ever. And when I set goals in my highest areas of life, I am relentless about achieving them. Relentless. I will never give up on these things. Now I'm going to tell you something else. Here's another little secret. Now this is true for me. This might not be true for you. You might come up with 3 areas of life that are your top. And you might say, you know what? I don't really care about social contributions. I'm not particularly spiritual. I'm smart enough, and money kind of takes care of itself. You might say that. But I will tell you this, and this is a little bit beyond the scope of what I wanted to talk to you about, but I will tell you this. The reality is, if you want to be a high-functioning, high-performing individual, you want to be in that top 1%, all of these things should be important to you. And there should be something of utmost importance in each of these areas. Okay, but it's not that way for everybody, and I get that. But the reality is, for me, they're all important. and I have business goals, and I have money goals, and I have family and fitness and intellectual goals. People in the masterminds who are here on the Zoom. I mean, you get to hear about you don't get to hear a lot about my spiritual goals, but you hear about the rest of the stuff. You hear about the rest of the stuff. Like we talk all the time about having fitness goals and having family goals and setting money targets and improving our business. You know, in the masterminds, we talk about achieving three things: profit, right? Making more money, having bigger impact on the people that you serve, and then having fun. And you get to have fun in all the other areas of life, including your business. There's no fun in money. Money is serious, 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 serious. We don't have any fun with money, but we do have fun in business. And so, and by the way, while I'm telling you that, if it does interest you in making more money and having a bigger impact on the people that you serve, well, you could just go to the link that I'm going to put in the chat. That's prouty.me. That gets you to my calendar. If you're watching this on a replay, it's just my last name.me, pretty easy to figure out. So in order for you not to quit, what I want you to do is figure out what are your top three areas of life, and then align your goals with those areas. And truthfully, even though all 7 areas of life are incredibly important to me, my goals are always focused on business, family, and fitness. They always are. They always are. The intellectual stuff takes care of itself. I'm always learning, and that's a part of my business. Part of my business is to learn and synthesize information. Social contributions are a part of one of my masterminds. I have social contributions that are the result of the mastermind. And then my spiritual contributions, or my spiritual life. Well, that's, like a lot of people, that's in here, and that involves a variety of things that I do. And I have those goals kind of happen on their own. But the big goals should be aligned with your top 3 areas of life. All right. So take a look at the goals that you're thinking about quitting on, and then ask yourself, is this in one of my top 3 areas of life? And if not, then you got to ask yourself why it wasn't. So your to-do here, look at your goals and determine, are they aligned with your top 3 areas of life? If so, then you should have an easy time. Then quitting is not an option. I don't want to use negative language. Then it should be easy to dedicate yourself to it. If not, you got to ask yourself why. You got to figure out why. I wish that was indented. I don't know how to do that. Let's see. There I go. I got it now. Yeah. So if you're thinking about quitting on one of your goals, it's probably because it's not a part of one of your highest areas of life. And if that's the case, if it's not part of one of your highest areas of life, that's probably because you've set a goal that is aligned with someone else's highest area of life. Maybe your significant other says that you, I don't know, maybe fitness is not important to you, but your significant other says, hey, kind of like it if you lost some weight. And so then you set the goal to lose some weight, but you're not setting it for yourself because it's not a high area of life for you. You're setting it for someone else. Of course, you're going to quit. You can only sustain that for so long. It's like when you first start dating someone, you got to be yourself. Now, listen, I haven't been in the dating world for a long time, but you got to be yourself. You cannot fake it forever, and they're going to find out. So it's the same thing with your goals. You can't fake being inspired by a goal if it's not aligned with one of your highest areas of life. I am currently I have an intellectual pursuit right now where I'm learning something that used to be complex, but it's not. Somebody says, you're yelling. Yeah, I am. You're right. Um, I'm pursuing it's an intellectual pursuit that was extremely hard at the beginning. I'm learning another language. I want to become natively fluent in a second language. It's extremely important to me. And I spend hours a day. I spend 2 hours a day on this pursuit. I couple it with other things that I do so that I get asymmetric returns. However, it's extremely important to me. I would love it if my wife would learn the same language so that I had somebody to speak to in my household. But it's not in her highest area of life. So it would be irresponsible of me to tell her I want her to do it and have her set the goal to do it. She'll never carry through with it. It's not important to her. It's not in her highest area of life. So why would it be? She'd only be setting the goal for me. She'd only be setting the goal for herself for something that I want. Well, that's not fair, right? There's nothing fair about that. So in that case, there would be resentment. I would be, if she didn't do it, I might be disappointed. So you've got to really think about what are your 3 highest areas of life, align your goals there. Don't let anyone else align your goals for you, right? Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, this is different than the first one, you weren't inspired by the goal to begin with. Your goals must inspire you. Your goals absolutely must inspire you at every level. So what that means is you should intrinsically move towards goal completion versus require some extrinsic force to get you to complete that goal. So, in other words, your movement towards achieving that goal should come from here and here versus out there. An example, you set a goal to be a safer driver. You drive your car. You're a little bit fast and furious, but you're realizing that you've got little kids and you're putting those little kids' life in jeopardy because you're driving like a maniac. So you're going to set the goal to be a safer driver. It's got to come from here and here. That's the internal mechanism that drives you to doing it. An example, if it's not here and here, you're going to just continue to do it. But an external force might step in to force that goal to happen in the form of getting pulled over by the police, causing an accident, causing injury to a kid because you broke too hard and they like snapped themselves around or whatever. You were drifting, you were Tokyo drifting in the parking lot and you hurt your car and now it's going to cost you some money to get that thing fixed. You change your name to Jan. What was the guy's name? What was the guy's name in Tokyo Drift? It was Juan, right? W-A-N. Remember that dude? And then he came back. Jan? I think it's Juan. Would somebody look that up? I think it's W-A-N. Look that up and tell me. An external force will come in and regulate you. An external force will come in and make you satisfy that goal. Nobody wants that. So you got to be inspired by the goals to begin with. Is it really Jan? We're both wrong. Han! So I associated it with a character from Star Wars, and I was thinking Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is so interesting. I grew up with this guy from Puerto Rico. His name was Juan, Juan, but his last name was Kenobi. That's not true. Han was his name. Okay, no Tokyo drifting for you because an external force can come in and do it. And then the third reason that I'll share with you, and then we'll wrap this up. The third thing that's going to keep you from quitting your goals is you got to have a plan. And then secret sauce, You got to have a plan for when the plan fails, because no plan is ever going to really work all the time. So you got to have a plan, and then you got to have a plan for when the plan fails. So you got to have backup plans, not plan B, not, oh, I'm going to go do something else. Like the safety net plan. Here's an example. One of my fitness goals is excruciatingly precise nutrition. And so I do extended fasting. I fast for 23 and a half hours every day, and I only eat for a half an hour. And during that eating window, I only eat very specific foods. And then on Friday night at 6 o'clock, when I stop eating, I do a 36-hour fast until Sunday morning. And so during that time, during my fasting, it's water and coffee. Except for today, it's just been water because I forgot to make coffee. My plan is to not put food in my mouth. That's my plan during my fasting window. And then when it's my eating window, half an hour, 5:30 to 6, only specific foods go in the mouth. But I know, because I live with 4 children, I know that if I walk into that kitchen right now, there's going to be some kind of food out that's just been left out, because that's how it works with 4 little kids. Not really that little. You know, if you have kids, they just leave the food's everywhere. I don't know how this happened. There's a piece of cheese on my desk. I don't know where this came from. The heck is this? I know it's cheese because I smelled it. I'm not going to put it in my mouth because it's hard. Some kid left a piece of cheese on my desk. So the backup plan is when I know there's food out, I don't even go into the kitchen. I just bypass. Just bypass. Right past. Because if I don't see it, the temptation's not going to be there. And then I don't have to spend the mental energy to say, no, you're not eating right now. It's not my eating window. It's a binary choice. You're either eating or you're not. I'm not. So are you laughing at the cheese? So the backup plan is if there's food out, stay out of the kitchen. So that I don't have to go through the mental energy of saying, I'm not going to do this. I don't, why is that cheese even there? All right. So this is going to keep you from quitting. Align your goals with your highest areas of life. Don't set goals based on what somebody else wants for you. You got to knock that off. You got to knock that off because you're never going to get those things done. Be inspired by your goals so that they happen intrinsically, not some external force, and then have a plan for when the plan fails. And then you won't quit your goals. And then you'll be in really good shape. We're at the top of the hour. I'm just going to check in on the friends on YouTube. No chat in there, but thanks for being here. If you watch this thing live, if you watch this thing on the replay, drop a comment below. Let me know you were here. Tell me what your biggest takeaway was. And let me go back to the Zoom, wherever that is. Here it is. And I'll say goodbye to you friends on YouTube. Everybody else here on the Zoom, just hang on for 1 second.